in their ranks that today the India bloc members were in a huddle again to try and forge common ground on floor strategy in Parliament. Last evening, on the occasion of an important strategy meet, the fourth ever it has held, the pre-poll coalition was pulling in different directions on the most basic of issues. So much so, viewers, that a JDU member came out and said that nothing much more happened than serving chai or biscuit. They said even samosas weren't served because the Congress is broke and therefore it couldn't afford to even lend a little bit of ceremony to the occasion. Such, viewers, is the sense of malaise. The growing rift in the ranks raises questions about the bloc's viability. Indeed, viewers, there are just too many contradictions to bridge. Each of the bloc's members have competing interests. They rely on the same vote base for their political sustenance or survival. As a result, even their cadre don't see eye to eye. That's why most often these parties are aligned against each other. They talk at each other instead of with each other. Perhaps in the end analysis, even the glue of power will prove insubstantial in holding the bloc together. Chemistry sometimes matters more in electoral politics than math. But more than this, a little later. Let's first examine where the differences lie and just how unsurmountable they could become. Viewers, let me walk you through some of the friction points. The first is on the Prime Ministerial phase. The second, viewers, is on the rift over the message that the parties think they should be taking to the public. Seat sharing tensions. They have been out there for some time without resolution. The alliance is lost in translation, quite literally. Nitish, for example, backs Hindi as the national language, but the DMK speaks in a completely different voice, expressing distaste against anything North Indian. Even the Congress members, viewers, have said that the North is letting this country down. Viewers, the primacy of the Congress within the alliance is also disputed. On Savarkar and Sanatana Dharma, they are split. They talk in different voices. Here, viewers, is a report from Pallavi Ghosh, who is the channel's most experienced political journalist. Listen to this.
Despite the show of solidarity over the several suspensions, all is clearly not well within the India Front Alliance. As expected, the two sticky points remain seat sharing and who's going to be the face. Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal threw a googly and also took the Congress by surprise when they suggested that the Congress President Malikarjun Kharge can be pitted as the face opposite Narendra Modi in 2024. Within the Congress party, not many are in agreement with them because ideally they would want a Rahul Gandhi to be projected if it has to be someone from the Congress. The RJD, the JDU, the Samajwadi Party remain silent, and their silence also points out to the dissent or difference of opinion within the front. But the real problem remains with the seat sharing, because that's where the differences will come out in the open. If we look at place states like Punjab, Delhi, West Bengal, how is it that these political parties, the regional satraps, would want to give that space to the Congress where they feel that the Congress has very little chance of performing well? And of course, the Hindi-English narrative. Clearly, Nitish Kumar was very upset when T.R. Balu suggested that the speech should be translated into English for his benefit, to which Nitish Kumar is believed to have said that we are Hindustani and Hindi is a Matrabhasha. Not everyone from the southern parties agreed with it.
Well, that was Pallavi Ghosh summing it up for us. With no consensus on a Prime Ministerial face for 2024, on a message, on a course of action, or even seat sharing, there is a real danger that voters will be disinclined to vote the bloc. After all, if the bloc's members can't trust each other on basic issues, how do they expect voters to trust them to govern? On the face of it, the India bloc has said that they will get their house in order by early January. But that might be a little too late in the day, viewers. The elections are, after all, just about 100 days away if one is to count when the poll code is likely to kick in. Viewers, let's get to our big debate. If the India alliance and the allies therein can't trust each other, how are they today seeking the voters' trust? Is it plausible? Let's put that question up.
Hello, Moto.
Viewers, this is a very important debate because it can shape really the outcome, not here, but the outcome of those constant confabulations within the India bloc could shape the outcome of the 2024 election. If it is already not a foregone conclusion, that is, viewers. I want to bring in Smita Prakash first. She's the editor of ANI, a long-time observer of politics, needs no introduction. Smita Prakash, I can't understand this. If an alliance doesn't have a face, if it doesn't have a message, if it is bickering over seats and math and all the rest, how does it expect the voter to put its faith behind it?
Thank you, Rahul. Even if it didn't have a face, there could still be an alliance. The thing is that Operation Salvage, it seems, was on today over phone lines, barely 24 hours after the summit meeting. Now, it seems as if there are more craters on the surface of this alliance than on the moon itself. Nitish Kumar, like you pointed out in the introduction, mightily miffed and he went on a tirade against English, which he called some leftover of colonial imposition or something like that. And the DMK asked for a translation. He instructed that no translation be made because Hindi is the Rashtra Bhasha. Now, herein lies a major fissure. The North-South divide that we have debated endlessly on television channels post results. Here was this thing which was like a major problem as far as the South states are concerned. There is ignorance, his spiteful reaction, his anger, his outburst. There is no meaning to this because there is no Rashtra Bhasha. There is a Raj Bhasha, yes, but there is no Rashtra Bhasha. Raj Bhasha matlab that there is that official language for official work. Now, his anger probably comes because he expected that he would be a convener, if not the PM face. And Mamata Banerjee went on her own, maybe consulting only Arvind Kejriwal, and announced Khargeji's name. Now, and that it didn't end with that. She said that Priyanka Gandhi should stand opposite Modi in Varanasi. Now, that's not acceptable to Akhilesh because he was supposed to be in charge of Uttar Pradesh seat sharing. So how can Mamata make that suggestion? Even if it came from a good place, the point is that it has to be done through consultation. So he was pretty miffed, and he was anyway miffed because 24 hours before that, there was talk that Mayawati should be brought into the alliance, and apparently his rank and file have said that Mayawati will not be part of the India alliance. If they are in the India alliance, then the SP won't be. It doesn't end with just that. Kejriwal's problem isn't that, he was consulted on something and he became party to Kharge's. The point is that for him, Punjab is a problem because out of the 13 Lok Sabha seats, his party will not share with the Congress. So while he suggests a congressman as the PM face, his own party in Punjab will not do a seat sharing. Where does that leave the Shiv Sena, Uddhav and the JDU rank and file? they spoke to the local media channels in Bihar and in Maharashtra, saying that this is just something that the leadership was taking fancy to in the rank and file. They are not happy with it. The communists have already done a press conference a short while ago where they say that Mamata Banerjee are announcing Khargeji's name without consulting them, and 31st deadline for December is not okay with them. So the date now has been extended to 15th of January. So within minutes of the meeting, fissures really big and wide appearing in the India alliance.
Well, let me bring in Sanjay Jha. I think that was a very comprehensive overview of the problem. Sanjay Jha, a coalition of contradictions, a coalition of contentions, a coalition of convenience. Does the India bloc lack electoral credibility? Fundamental question tonight.
Rahul, I just want to make a few points. Number one, I have no idea on what basis are many speculations being made. I also happen to know a lot of members of the India Alliance, and I can tell you the India Alliance is in very good shape. India Alliance is moving forward. They are united. They are convinced that we have had the most disastrous Prime Minister in our history, who's not just destroyed the economy, fractured our society, and threatened our constitution, but there is a need for India to start breathing again. If anybody wants any further proof, ladies and gentlemen, watch what the BJP government is doing to the opposition by suspending over 140 members in parliament while they are hurriedly passing critical criminal amendment bills. So, I think, one of the biggest flaws of democracy, and I will tell you that, Rahul, is that people tend to believe that there are permanent winners and there are permanent losers. I can tell you this for a...
Okay, I think we've... Yes.
Last two general elections.
Yes.
But
yes,
change. And the truth is, let me tell you this, the truth is there are serious challenges in the rural economy.
Right.
There are massive challenges on unemployment manifesting itself in pretty ugly ways as of now. And then you have, of course, the bigger challenge, I believe, of the fact that we are a society that is intrinsically looking broken since Mr. Modi became Prime Minister. So I think the opposition is fighting truly with a larger cause. I will concede the point, Rahul, that you made, and even what Smita Prakash made, that yes, there are going to be certain issues on which parties which have contested each other, the Congress in particular, has been a common adversary to many parties. There are certain hurdles to be crossed, but it is all happening as we talk. Okay. And in fact, I would say that the reason why the BJP will be a little anxious today is because, let me tell you, there is a resolve and there's a determination that the India Alliance is going to fight it out tooth and nail.
Okay.
And
well,
trust me, anything can happen.
A quick counter question, Sanjay Jha, before I bring in Abhijit Iyer Mitra and also Mr. Monojit Mondol. Very quick counter questions. What you've just said about the failings, etc., you've been saying for 9 years. In fact, even before you open your mouth, I made 5 points down of what you were going to say. So I could frame my counter question. It was exactly on T. And this is exactly what Rahul Gandhi says. Now, it's been 9 years. 2 elections have come and gone. And the opposition is decimated in both these elections, as you know. The tally for the BJP has gone up. So, when you lack a message, or if it's a message on repeat mode, which is being constantly rejected, perhaps as an alternative, you would want a messenger. You can't even decide on a messenger. 2 of the very influential members, Mr. Kejriwal, towering figure in political circles. And of course, the one with greatest pan-India appeal, Mamata Banerjee. She has said it must be Kharge. The Congress has not even endorsed it. In fact, it's been stunned into silence. Do you think Mr. Kharge should be the messenger at least?
Well, Rahul, let me quickly answer you. You said that some of the issues that I will raise, you already knew it, because those issues haven't gone. Just because Narendra Modi is the
Prime Minister, it's
not
about whether they're gone or there. It is about whether the people are accepting it. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter what you say, how often you say it. It's who you say it to and whether it is being bought. Now, clearly the message is lost. Perhaps the time has come to put a messenger before the public. Maybe the messenger will be supported. Now, who's that messenger? Two very influential, very tall pan-national leaders. Pan-national leaders with 40 seats between them in parliament. Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal say it should be Kharge. The Congress has not been able to bring itself to say whether it should be Kharge or not. Why?
Okay, let me answer you. Let me answer you very quickly. The very fact that you have two people from different political parties of the India alliance suggesting the name of Mr. Kharge, who is a Congress president as a Prime Ministerial candidate, tells you as to how dispassionate and impartial the entire.
No, because there are 15 others who are opposing it. That's the other problem.
You're not letting me finish.
Including the Congress, which hasn't come out and said anything.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Here is the biggest issue, in my opinion. I do believe that nobody is obliged to respond to this recommendation immediately. There are other members of the alliance as well.
Is it because he's a Dalit?
So I'm answering your question.
And you don't like the fact that he's a Dalit?
Let me tell you, I'm not going to prejudge what the alliance is going to announce formally, because let it be a formal announcement. I personally believe Mr. Kharge is a formidable political candidate to defeat Mr. Modi and take on the BJP. Right. So let's see what happens. But the second point is equally critical.
It should be a formal announcement. It is not a foregone announcement. It should be a foregone announcement if he is formidable. All the Fs, 3 Fs in this sentence, viewers. I started with 3 Cs, he's turned it into 3 Fs. Now let me ask Mr. Iyer. Formal, foregone, formidable. F, F and F. Tell me, sir, what is the problem then? What is the problem?
The 4th F, Rahul, which is failure. You see, the problem here is, there is, I'm going to synthesize what Sanjay and Smita said. You see, there is, what is the basis of identity? As Huntington described it, there is substance and salience. Substance is what binds us together. Salience is what separates us. So they have enough salience. They know very well that, we all hate the BJP. The problem is, where is the substance that binds them together? It's very illusory. You see, you can keep saying, yes, these will be overcome, but they are not being overcome. You cannot have a chief minister who says kick out Biharis and North Indians from Tamil Nadu on the one hand, and on the other have a chief minister of Bihar who says there will be no translation and Hindi hamari matrabhasha hai. These are irreconcilable. And the problem is, these are planks of their electoral success in their own states. DMK won its first election very much on the basis of the anti-Hindi agitation, which ultimately defeated Kamaraj and brought Annadurai as chief minister. This is number one. Number two, what exacerbates this lack of substance amongst all of them is a combination of threat and loss. Sure, all of them perceive a threat from the BJP, but see, some parties have a lot more to lose than other parties. Some of them, for example, Mamata Banerjee, she seems to have accepted that Modi might do very well in the general elections in Bengal, but she will always thrash the BJP in state elections in Bengal, in much the same way that Delhi votes overwhelmingly for AAP in the state elections, but it votes overwhelmingly for the BJP in central elections. The only problem is, Rahul feels the loss much more because his future depends on central elections. Mamata Banerjee, Nitish Kumar, etc., feel the loss a lot less because they are dependent on state elections, and this duality comes into play. Third, there is the issue of Mr. Kharge. Now, I don't know why the Congress is taking so long to approve of this, because it's a fantastic name for the Gandhis. You see, if Mr. Kharge loses the election, they can always, do what they did to Sitaram Kesri, who was the last Dalit president who they locked up in a room, roughed up and threw out of the party office and God knows what not. And on the other hand, if they succeed, they can run a remote control government like they did for the last 10 years. So, I don't know what is really holding them back. It suits the Gandhis. It suits the India alliance. He is a South Indian who can speak Hindi. He is a South Indian who can speak apparently at least 2 South Indian languages. He is acceptable to everybody. I don't think the BJP also has a negative opinion of him. Okay. He is somebody who bridges divides. He certainly doesn't use the kind of divisive language that Rahul Gandhi does. So why haven't they? So this is something that
why haven't they?
because it's their own insecurity. It's the crown prince's
Okay,
own
let me ask.
insecurity.
Let me ask Monojit Mondol, who speaks in favor sometimes of the TMC on this particular broadcast. Let me bring you in, Mr. Monojit Mondol.
Yes.
Now, why
There is a
did, for
question.
example, Mamata Banerjee, in your opinion, champion the cause of Mr. Kharge when the Gandhis are there? They are towering over this India alliance. Why pick
India alliance.
Mr. Kharge?
Always India alliance.
I do not possess that level of political sagacity or acumen to comment on a decision taken by someone like Mamata Banerjee, whose political career, whose life has remained an epitome of sacrifice. She was known to the world, to India, even before the name of the present Prime Minister was even known to the country.
Right.
So I think when she proposed a name, along with a very, very honorable Chief Minister of Delhi, there must have been some reason. And I do not understand why BJP and the whole lot of their supporters are almost having a kind of voyeuristic tendency about this kind of a decision or proposal. They should introspect. They should. I should tell them to lay off, and we know how to handle these issues. I mean, they have no worry about the fact that India alliance has got not just a leader but many leaders, and they will be extremely capable of choosing a leader from the many leaders.
Okay.
Unlike the BJP or the present political dispensation, who functions barely because of 2.5%.
No, but doesn't Mamata Banerjee's sagacious recommendation count for anything? Because the Congress should have jumped and said, we endorse this. It comes from the sagacious, internationally renowned Chief Minister of Bengal, as you are saying. It comes from somebody who was known to the world even before Mr. Modi. But clearly the Congress has not jumped to it. In fact, Mr. Kharge weaseled out of it in the company of Sonia Gandhi by saying, no, we look at it after the elections are over.
Have you heard to the extent of the negatives that the Congress or any other political parties have outrightly rejected the proposal?
No, but why haven't they accepted it? The one JDU leader says that people
I tell you,
were just busy eating their biscuit and tea.
Yeah, I tell you, because for us and for the supporters of India Alliance, what matters most is first to oust this political dispensation.
No, clearly not, because Mamata Banerjee suggested that we must have a... No, one second. Now you are presaging. Now you are doubting Mamata Banerjee.
Prime Minister
No. If that was the case... But
we
Mr.
are
Mondol,
here to serve the people of this
that is true, but who?
Correctly and rightly.
But who? Because you see, Mamata Banerjee says that the first priority is to pick a messenger.
Rahul, can I
that
add
will
to
be
what
chosen at the
Monojit
right
said?
time. Yes.
At the right time, she
It's
says
not
now.
about.
Do it now. She's telling, and also Mr. Kejriwal was
That
nodding
can
and saying
happen.
yes.
That can happen through consensus. I repeat.
Consensus.
This country
I didn't say that, viewers.
does not function the BJP function.
Okay, now listen to this.
In
This is
terms
very
of almost
important.
a pro-fascist
You see the
attitude of
message-
suspending
Okay,
one after
okay.
the other inside
Okay.
the parliament.
Okay,
This is a democratic
okay.
alliance.
Okay.
This is called a democratic alliance.
I'll bring in the BJP to respond to that, but viewers just pay attention to what Mr. Mondol said. It will happen through consensus. You see, Nitish Kumar has a problem with
wrong
Kharge.
with that?
Lalu Prasad has a problem
What
with
is wrong with
Kharge.
that?
He supposedly walked out. He walked out. Now, if the message is being negotiated, the messenger is also being negotiated, we all understand that negotiations deliver compromised outcomes. So if you don't have Kharge, you have somebody else, maybe even someone like Sanjay Jha or somebody like that. Viewers,
Let us not
will
trivialize
Mamata
this discussion
Banerjee,
like
no,
that,
I'm saying that he's a
No,
very
you are
senior leader.
trivializing it. No.
How am I trivializing?
You are
Sanjay Jha
trivializing.
is a senior
Absolutely.
leader of the...
You are. And
he's been a national
really
spokesperson,
smacks
sir,
of the
before
kind
even
of-
people heard of
kind
you.
of arrogance,
12 years.
arrogance that
No,
people
15
like
years.
you have. I mean,
15
sorry,
years,
sorry.
Sanjay Jha has
No.
been a national
Could be.
spokesperson. He's a
Could
well-known
be.
figure.
Could be.
So what?
Doesn't matter.
So what?
Sanjay Jha is a good friend.
Why? There
but
is
you
no
are-
place.
you are at the
There is
moment,
no place, you mean to say, for a
trivializing the
Sanjay
whole
Jha to
issue.
lead the alliance?
No. You
What
do not need
nonsense?
to trivialize the
That's
issue,
no. I'm
right?
sorry, sir. That you're being extremely, you're being extremely dismissive of the capacities of Mr. Sanjay
I'm
Jha.
trying to analyze
He was
your
taken
side.
so seriously that they even suspended him. If he mattered none to nobody, they wouldn't have suspended him. I mean, come on, let's not be so dismissive of poor Sanjay Jha. He's earned his teeth. He's here on this panel because he's written 2 books on the party and on politics. One minute. Let me bring in the BJP.
You do not need to play the mischief.
I'm not. I'm not
Sanjay
going
Jha
to play
is
any
an
mischief.
extremely
No,
good
that is
friend,
why he's
but
here, because he does bring.
You are trying to play something that we can all understand.
Okay, sir, I'm understanding. I'm understanding. Sir, I'm understanding. I'm understanding. I'm the bad. I'm the villain. Anyhow, let me bring in. I'm a villain, sir. I'm a villain. Mischievous imp. Okay, let me bring in Pratyush Kant. Pratyush Kant, look, I have conceded one point that I'm the villain. But I'd rather be a villain because I stand for the public interest. We want a strong opposition. We want Kharge, a Dalit, who is today carrying the flag as a torchbearer of the Congress. And the Congress is rejecting him, is not accepting him. 2 top leaders of the alliance have suggested that he should be made the Prime Ministerial face. Why do you think this is the case?
Rahulji, good evening. Let me tell you this, whether it was in Patna or in Bengaluru or in Mumbai or now in Delhi, this alliance is about optics. There is no Hindi-English divide, there is nothing. The truth is that Nitish Kumar was very hopeful that he'll be the PM face or at least the convener. In first Patna meeting or in Bengaluru meeting or in Mumbai meeting, what has come out of the whole thing? We will fight together. How will we fight together? There's so much dichotomy between all of them together. Lalu, Nitish, Akhilesh, Mamata ji, communists, they are all not on the same page at all. They are just there because all of them are trying to save their own respective parties in those small little states which they rule. There is no ideology which is there. Now poor Rahul Gandhi is the owner of Congress party and Kharge ji cannot be the owner. I am 100% sure that Mamata Banerjee, who fights the communist in West Bengal and Congress fights communist in Kerala, or Aam Aadmi Party which hates Congress, they are there because of Congress in Delhi and Punjab, they are all having fun.
Okay.
This whole alliance is a Ghamandi alliance. This alliance has no ideology at all. All these Hindi, English, we are angry, we are happy, is all meaningless. While they know, while they are aware, Rahulji, that BJP is working on ideology, they are working on development. Narendra Modi has a vision. They have no vision, no roadmap. How can you come and fight? Do you think people of this country they don't understand?
Second big alliance in NDA with 2-digit numbers in the parliament. Name the party in your NDA alliance with 2-digit numbers after BJP. Please name it.
2-digit numbers? I don't understand.
See,
what are you saying?
Don't get angry.
Who is the second big ally partner in NDA?
Don't challenge. Don't see. Here we go to election. NDA goes to election, categorically saying that Narendra Modi is our face. Narendra Modi has a
This is not about the NDA alliance. This is about the India alliance. 1 second. Stop, gentlemen. 1 second. Let's not speak over each other. Smita Prakash, let me bring you. Okay, 1 second. Gentlemen, please, silence. Silence, please. Please, let's be. Okay, calm down. 1 second. Smita Prakash, let me bring you in. The charge is today from the BJP that the India bloc exists as an optical illusion. Would you go along with that categorization?
No, that's, I think, dismissing it too much. If it fructifies with seat sharing, then yes, it will be formidable. But even if it doesn't fructify before elections, if it happens after elections, even then it would be interesting. And my guess is really that like the UPA, it's something that will actually crystallize after election in case the BJP doesn't do well. I don't see, the meeting that happened yesterday. There are 2 things, Rahul. There's nuts and bolts and there's optics. On nuts and bolts, the elephant in the room is seat sharing. Did not happen and doesn't look like it's going to happen. On optics, there was no Banhami. Lalu Yadav, and we've talked about everything else, but let's talk about the major problem. If it's Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, just look at the two major issues. Akhilesh doesn't even agree to the name India. He's calling it something else, BDA. He doesn't even agree with the name. As far as Bihar is concerned, Lalu Yadav and Nitish, it seems, that's what the state units are saying, are barely speaking to each other, and that was evident in this footage that you're showing, the meeting. They didn't even look at each other. Look at the optics of Arvind Kejriwal. He looks so despondent. He's already left for his retreat. So where is this, the seat sharing talks that one is talking about? And as Abhijit said, hating BJP is not a unifying factor. It's good for the imagery, but it's not a good enough reason. They couldn't even pass unanimously a resolution on EVMs. And as far as Kharge ji is concerned, he's immensely capable of leading an alliance, but not one reaction notice from Mrs. Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi.
That is strange.
Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal have suggested, but nothing. And the 5-member committee, which of the Congress party has who in it? Very senior leaders, granted, Ashok Gehlot, Bhupesh Baghel, there's Mukul Vasnik, and there is Salman Khurshid and somebody else. These are the people, they have lost elections recently. Very, very great. They're senior. They have a good track record, but they've lost elections. So look at the rank and file of the Congress party. What are they going to think?
Right.
That they've just lost elections for us, and you're giving them the responsibility for an election 5 months from now.
So maybe instead of the BJP saying that this is an optical illusion, they should say it's an optically challenged bloc that provides the illusion of opposition. Maybe if that is the way we categorize it, we could perhaps get closer to the truth. Okay, right. Viewers, look, whether it is optically challenged that provides the illusion of opposition or it is actually optically challenged will be determined in a few weeks. Hopefully, they'll get their act together. And hopefully, viewers, we will have an opposition to challenge the NDA. Otherwise, viewers, democracy doesn't really thrive. We want an election where issues are brought out, where accountability is fixed. And if that doesn't happen, the opposition is to blame. If democracy today looks lopsided, it is the opposition that is to blame. We must keep that in mind, viewers. We must keep that in mind. I just want to move on because a day after a video shot by parliamentarians depicting a TMC MP appearing to mock the chairman of the Rajya Sabha and the vice president, the Prime Minister has come out. Mr. Narendra Modi has come out and spoken on the issue. Modi has criticized what he called was the boorish and disgraceful undermining of a constitutional post. Hours after the PM's statement, the media quizzed Rahul Gandhi on the TMC's mimicking the vice president. Reporters asked if he regretted abetting the act by filming it. Rahul Gandhi appeared to take offense at the question, viewers. He shot back at the reporters. You can see him on the right of your screens. He was defiant. He was dismissive. He certainly wasn't contrite. Watch this sequence, viewers. Watch this sequence.
अपमान किसने किया, कैसे किया? वहाँ पे एमपीज बैठे हुए थे, मैंने उनका वीडियो लिया, मेरा वीडियो मेरे फोन पे है, मीडिया दिखा रहा है, मीडिया कह रहा है, मोदी जी कह रहे हैं, किसी ने कुछ कहा ही नहीं है, अपनी कास्ट भी लिया है सर, किसी ने कुछ नहीं वहाँ पे किसानों का अपमान किया। नहीं सुनिए, देखिए वहाँ पे हमारे 150 एमपीज को बाहर फेंक दिया है, ठीक है, उसके बारे में मीडिया में कोई चर्चा नहीं हो रही है, ठीक है, उनको आपने पार्लियामेंट से बाहर उठा के फेंक दिया, उसकी कोई चर्चा नहीं हो रही है। राफेल पे फ्रांस ने कहा है कि भैया इन्वेस्टिगेशन नहीं अलाउ हो रहा, उस पर कोई चर्चा नहीं हो रही है। बेरोजगारी पे कोई चर्चा नहीं हो रही है। हमारे एमपीज वहां पे दुखी हैं, बाहर बैठे हुए हैं, उन पे आप चर्चा कर रहे हो।
The BJP has slammed Rahul Gandhi for trivializing the alleged grave insult, while the Congress has hit back at the BJP. History reveals that Gandhi tends to be cavalier when it comes to heeding protocol. I'm not saying it, viewers. I am not passing any value judgment. In fact, one of the tallest leaders of the Congress and the former President of India has noted this in his own diary, which was published recently. Here's what Pranab Mukherjee observed, and let me quote him. He writes in his diary of this incident back in the day, aghast at Rahul's bid to trash ordinance, humiliate Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Who does he, in brackets, Rahul, think he is, question mark. He is not a member of the cabinet. Who is he to publicly trash a decision of the cabinet? The Prime Minister is abroad. What right does he have to humiliate the Prime Minister like this? He has all the arrogance of his Gandhi Nehru lineage without their political acumen. Viewers, this is what was said about Rahul Gandhi from one of the ideological torchbearers of the party, close to the Gandhi family. So today we have to ask, is Rahul Gandhi normalizing disruption and disrespect? Fundamental question. Let's open this up, viewers. Let's not delay. Let's pose that question to Sanjay Jha. What's happening, sir? What's happening? Rahul Gandhi comes away and says, focus on the real issues. Not on this. What can be more real than an attempt at trivializing, at disrespecting, at being dismissive of a constitutional post in our democracy? Sir.
Okay. Rahul, very quickly. 140 plus MPs are out of parliament. The speaker is supposed to be, by the way, an impartial, dispassionate individual. He's part of the BJP, that's another story. But in that constitutional position, you're supposed to give voice to the opposition, because whether it's a Congress or the TMC or the Shiv Sena or the Samajwadi Party, we represent the people of India. These are people who represent voices of the common people of India. And if you are not going to give them an opportunity to speak in parliament, you are not doing justice to your job. Just because people hold a constitutional position doesn't make them beyond reproach. Let's be very clear about it. Number two, very important. If you throw them, if you don't hear them in parliament, but you are trying to make a big, hullabaloo about an attempt to create a humor around the vice president, well, what do you want the parliamentarians to do? If we are talking about the humor or the satire being in bad taste, but I can tell you Ramesh Bidhuri on the floor of the new parliament, you know the language he used? Bhadwa and Katwa. We all know who he was talking about. Can somebody ask this of Mr. Modi? I would like to ask through your program, Mr. Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister of India, what have you done on this BJP MP from South Delhi, the most elite part of Delhi, I have been told? He represents South Delhi. He made a statement on 200 million Muslims of our country. What has the Prime Minister done? He is in parliament. Brij Bhushan Singh, he is in parliament. Accused of sexual harassment, he is in parliament. No problem. Bills have been passed by Amit Shah today. Criminal amendment bills have been passed without any Lok Sabha.
Are you saying that there is nothing wrong in spinning a satire or about caricaturing an individual's disability? The person has something wrong with his back, etc., etc. It's okay, it's fair game.
Nobody saying that.
Well, it appeared so. You don't seem to have taken a principled stand. Begin by saying, well, I'm not going to condone this. Like one of your colleagues did, a member of parliament, Mr. Hanumantaya, yesterday, he came out and said, look, I'm not going to condone this. This is not something that we should have seen, but, whatever.
Rahul,
Now, I didn't hear that from you. Do you
Rahul,
do you think that this is not being seen by Rahul Gandhi as a deep transgression? Because
Rahul,
he is very cavalier about constitutional authority. I mean,
Okay.
Pranab Mukherjee said so.
Okay, Rahul, let me answer you. This is my personal opinion, number one. And let me just put it out for you right away. We in our country have had a security breach in parliament that had it been with people with violent manifestations, it could have been, frankly, a very serious issue at the moment. Nobody is discussing that. Nobody is discussing that members of the parliament have been thrown out. That's okay.
No,
Here
who's
is my
the
point.
nobody?
No, here
I
is
mean,
my
here
point.
on this channel, we have done debate after
know,
debate,
I know.
calling
So
upon, and you were there. So let's
Yeah.
not say nobody. You know,
So-
this
so let
kind
me
of
make the point.
no, this
Let
kind
me
of
make the point.
No,
I'll tell you
come
where
to
I
the
find
point.
the
I'm asking you:
BJP.
do you agree that a constitutional holder of a constitutional post should be picked upon because he has a disability? The poor man has a problem with his posture because he's got a problem with, you know, his skeletal system or whatever, and you are making I don't know, a virtue out of it in some ways.
No,
I mean,
no.
should that be?
I'm not. I'm making a different statement here.
Come on.
You know, we have become, let me tell you, I have heard the most foul.
It doesn't
vulgar
matter. Two
abuse.
wrongs don't make a right. I'm
No,
talking
let me-
about how do you
let me now
show
make
the
my
mirror to
point.
somebody? You
Now
only
let
can
me
show
make
the
my
mirror
point.
when you occupy a moral high ground. Do you believe that today, and let me ask Smita Prakash, maybe you're pulling your punches, let me ask Smita Prakash. Smita Prakash, has Rahul Gandhi lost the opposition the moral high ground? You see, I think there was genuine sympathy for Rahul Gandhi and the other MPs in the recent past when 143 was summarily suspended from the House. I think a lot of people said, well, I think this is going a bit too far. You've seen the editorials in the newspapers. I might have a slightly differing opinion, but that's immaterial. The fact is, even I have stood here and said that, look, we need to re-engage with the opposition. And it is the responsibility of perhaps the government to do so, that its actions must also pass the smell test, which they are not. But when you do something like this, you give the ruling party a full toss. Constantly, do you think Rahul Gandhi ruins his case for his own allies?
It did, and it doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right that so many opposition leaders are being suspended. Yes, going by the book, they did flout the rules. These rules have been flouted. It's the flouting of the rules has been the norm. Rather than the exception. So, you know, you can hold up and say, ye to rule tha, ye to law tha, they have broken, so we can suspend them. But 143 or 44, the last count, is a bit shocking, you know. But what happened on that steps out there which you were showing, it's decorum and discipline were breached in that mimicry. And Rahul Gandhi, and this line of civility was crossed. And Rahul Gandhi being the, you know, senior most, if I'm not mistaken, in that group, or one of the senior most, he should have known, and you know, he should have just admonished Banerjee. Forget about videoing the whole event. If the videoing was done, or if the mimicry was done in a living room or in a restaurant and he was videoing it, it was a different matter. But here in Parliament, I mean, Rahul knows better. I don't know, maybe it was a momentary lapse or whatever.
No, I don't know, because Pranab Mukherjee feels that it is
the TMC
very much part of his mental makeup.
Would have solved it.
I don't know, because that's why I pulled out that extract from Pranab Mukherjee. Perhaps
you know,
he's
I
the
don't
only
want to
one.
go into what.
Yeah.
No, but on that score, I beg to differ, because this thing of what Pranab Mukherjee has said has come after he passed away. When he was alive, he said no such thing. He was very much, I have seen with my own eyes, he was extremely deferential to Rahul Gandhi when he was alive. So I don't know about that. I mean, of course, one has to go with what the daughter says.
Okay.
But about this, I just feel that today, you know, Mamata Banerjee also said very swiftly, she transferred the blame onto Rahul Gandhi, that had he not videoed the mimicry, it wouldn't have become such a big deal. But I still feel that just a regret, if not an apology, should be enough.
Exactly. I mean, you know, look, at the end of the day, we're all talking about taking principled stands, and the opposition hasn't done itself any favors, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, by not taking a principled stand. They were at one point in the House, and as I said, public opinion might have even veered towards them, but after this?
Well, look, Rahul, you know, the thing here is, it's just the hypocrisy of all of this. You know, TMC, the person protesting and making fun outside of Vice President Dhankar is from the TMC. This is a party that arrested a guy for making a cartoon, several cartoons of Mamata Banerjee on Facebook. I think you remember that case very well.
Yes, I do, of course.
Right. This is a party that has fielded a lady called Mahua Moitro, who thinks she's being very cute. Now, every Bengali knows what harami means. She claims that harami means naughty in her interview. She doubled down on her things when she called a member of parliament harami. She called the whole of Indian democracy susupati democracy. She insulted 1.4 billion Indians, the election commission, and every voter, calling us a susupati democracy. You can still go see the tweet up there. Today, she has the gall to put out a tweet saying, "Nothing annoys right-wingers and bigots and haters more than being made fun of. Fascists fear fun." She herself is a lady who blocks anybody who even remotely makes fun. Yours truly included in all of that. Next, let's come to the Congress. This is a Sonia Gandhi who on Vajpayee said, "Ye apna dimaki santulan kho baithe hain." Do you remember that?
Yeah.
She then called Modi maut ka saudagar. Rahul Gandhi, you remember after Manishankar Iyer made his chai wala comments, Rahul applauded him at that party meeting and mentioned him by name and applauded him. We all remember that video. I think people have forgotten that video of Priyanka Gandhi going and campaigning in 2019, where that slogan was raised by those Congress workers and the kids out there. Neem ka patta kadwa hai, Modi dash dash dash. I am not going to complete it, but you know exactly what that thing is. Okay, this is not a party. These are not two parties and two people who should be complaining about making fun of anyone because they have. Okay. Let me also point out that Modi is not making an exception for the vice president. This is a news item from 2011. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Okay, Modi had posters of Sonia Gandhi removed that made fun of her in an unparliamentary way. This was way back in 2011 when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat. Okay, so he had this general thing that he will tolerate abuses for certain, and that time, remember, she was a quasi-constitutional post holder in a manner of speaking. He does not tolerate this. So he is actually not the hypocrite here. It is the TMC and the Congress that are the biggest hypocrites out
well,
here.
Well, let me tell you, irrespective of
Rahul's entire career has been a string of failure. He can only fall back on these kind of
Narendra Modi called Sonia Gandhi a New Jersey cow.
Okay, New Jersey cow. Okay,
he called Rahul Gandhi.
Can I come in?
Yes, Mr. Mondol, come in. Sanjay Jha, don't cloud Mr. Mondol's space. Yes.
No.
He talked about how
for the last 7-8 days, these people are sitting in the chilling cold of Delhi for no fault of their own. Most of them, they are in their 60s and 70s. And if they are trying to cheer themselves up by having this kind of mock parliament, that becomes an issue for you, not the attack on the parliament. Why
anyhow, the reason we are... Now, hang on, Mr. Mondol, the reason we have had to digress...
Let me finish.
No, why did Mamata Banerjee then accuse Rahul Gandhi of spoiling, ruining the case for the opposition?
I tell you, because you made it serious. You made it a serious thing. That's what
I made it a serious thing.
This is a very trivial thing, and this
very trivial
inside the parliament.
Okay, I need to step in here, viewers. There's nothing trivial about. No, 1 second. This is not squaring with my sense of ethics. There is nothing trivial about caricaturing a disability, viewers. This kind of shaming of someone who is disabled. No. I think this is no. Sir, I have to end this. This is not the way. I will not take this on board. Not fair, Mr. Mondol. Not fair. You cannot. Look. Anyhow, I'll have to lower your fader. So please don't. This is not fair. I need to take a short break also, viewers. I mean, we can't give platforms to people who are going to go around there trivializing someone's disability. I mean, what next? And let me tell you, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, Mahua Moitra can say what she likes. But for me, in my book, you're a punny pandit. And I'll take a short break and I'll come right back.
Hello, Moto.
Things will become much clearer.
In 2010, ash clouds from eruptions at the Eyjafjallajökull volcano in the south of Iceland spread over large parts of Europe, grounding tens of thousands of flights in Europe and beyond. But experts say this time limited ash is being released, quelling fears of a repeat, with no disruptions so far. These tourists already making the most of the new natural wonder.
It's a once in a lifetime for us, so we don't want to miss that.
Scientists say seismic activity could continue for several months.
Viewers, heavy rains are wreaking havoc in Tamil Nadu. The downpour has stopped, but various districts remain inundated across the state. As the flood water has not receded in many places, school holidays have been announced in Tirunelveli, Tenkasi and Nellai districts. As residents continue to suffer for access to essentials, Indian Coast Guard roped in 2 ICGALH helicopters to airdrop food packets in the affected areas of Tuticorin. Meanwhile, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin met Prime Minister Narendra Modi and submitted a petition to declare the damage caused by the storm and the heavy rainfall in the southern districts as a national calamity and to provide disaster and relief funds to the state. Here is a quick overview from the ground.
The special train that carried over 800 passengers who were stranded for 40 odd hours near Tuticorin, that special train has finally reached Chennai. Remember, there were many passengers who were stranded for 2 nights from December 17th till yesterday afternoon. Initially, there was no electricity, no food, no drinking water because the railway track where they were at Sri Vaikuntham railway station near Tuticorin, that railway track was damaged, and now you can see finally people coming out of the special train that in fact was organized for them. This is a special train that carried more than 500 odd passengers. Remember, initially there was where the railway track was, it was in fact damaged. They were there for at least 2 nights, and you can see now they are slowly coming out of this particular special train, and food has been arranged for them. This is the same train. I mean, these are the passengers who were stuck for at least 2 nights, and now they are coming out. You can see.
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I am Anand Narasimhan. First up, ladies and gentlemen, the Lok Sabha has passed the criminal law bills seeking to replace the Indian Penal Code, the CRPC and the Evidences Act. The Home Minister highlighted that the revised bills free us from colonial mindset. The Telecommunications Bill 2023 has also been passed in the Lok Sabha. The bill seeks to regulate all telecommunications and online services such as WhatsApp, Zoom, Reddit, Gmail, etc. Now, meanwhile, Bharat has also witnessed an exceptional surge in Unified Payments Interface or UPI transactions, reaching a staggering 8,572 crore by the 11th of December 2023. UPI transactions surging from 92 crore in the financial year 2017-18 to 8,375 crore in the financial year 2022-23, showcasing a compounded annual growth of 147% in terms of volume. UPI has been a major driving force in the overall growth of digital payment transactions in Bharat, accounting to 62% of digital payment transactions in the financial year 2022-23. Meanwhile, owing to the policy stability in Bharat after BJP's win in the 3